Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And today I want to have talk about um, a serious talk about Kayfabe. For anybody that doesn't know, I am a huge wrestling fan. Pretty sure you already know this. But I take this very seriously, okay? Now, I take it very seriously when the whole term kayfabe comes out. And we have this conversation about kayfabe. Because I do take it seriously. When somebody says that kayfabe is dead, I get very, very offended and upset. Because it's not dead. It's never been dead. It will never die. Okay? And I'm not saying that just because we know that wrestling is predetermined, that means kayfabe's dead. No, it's not. Kayfabe didn't die in the funny thing is, when everybody says that kayfabe is dead, that's something that has been said for decades. It was said in the early 90s when Vince McMahon came out and said that wrestling was a work. People said it was dead in the Attitude Era when people started mostly using their real names and stuff and whatnot. A lot of the newer wrestlers started doing that. During the Ruthless Aggression era, people said it was dead when it wasn't. People were still staying in kayfabe. Okay? Then people said in the PG era, people say it now. Kayfabe has never died. It evolved. There's a difference. There is a difference when it comes to kayfabe. Okay? It evolved. Wrestling is still wrestling. People bust their ass off. And you guys know me. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, newsflash, I've been around on YouTube since 2010. I've been making videos since 2010. I've covered wrestling. I used to do pay-per-view reviews back in the day when they still had the pay-per-view eras going on. You know what I mean? I've been doing this for a long time. Okay? On YouTube. Obviously, I watched wrestling longer than me being on YouTube, but the idea that people think kayfabe is dead is insane. Okay? It is insane because it's not. You just saw last year Seth Rollins fake an injury, okay, on television, okay? Not the one he got a couple months later that was real, but the one that, they kayfabed, okay? That was kayfabe. And people believed it was a real injury. People believed it was a real injury. Seth freaking Rollins went on the Rich Eisen show, football analyst guy, and he freaking worked Rich Eisen. He worked everybody on that show and convinced them that his injury was real. And even when Rich Eisen alluded to the fact of him, actually not having a real injury, he showed the text message of Seth Rollins says, "Thank you for your participation." That's kayfabe. That was kayfabe. Okay? So when people say that kayfabe is dead, and you see guys that are doing that and convincing everybody that something isn't, something there that they did and then they worked them, That is kayfabe. Okay? Kayfabe has never died. Okay? The problem is it has evolved. It has changed because of social media and because of other resources. It has changed how people handle kayfabe because so many fans know what's going on now. So now they have to evolve and do, and it makes it harder, but they got to do what they got to do. That is kayfabe. Okay? Kayfabe is not dead. All right? People know wrestling is predetermined. Okay? It's not fake. You know, all like the dumbasses that say that use that stupid F word. Okay? Most disrespectful thing you can say to a wrestler. Okay? But it's predetermined. The idea, all right, you see what MJF does, okay? You see what he does. That's kayfabe, okay? He is working you. And I know some people want to freaking say that, oh, well, MJF means it most of the time. A lot of that stuff he's doing to you, he's antagonizing you on purpose because he knows it will get him heat. See, MJF, whether you like MJF or not, he's smart. He's smart because he knows how to work the 21st century crowd. Probably better than anybody can. All right. He adopted the social media aspect into his character where he claps back at people on Twitter. Okay? In character. Now, yes, you could argue that some of that stuff you don't know what he actually is being genuine for, you know, and or what he's doing as a work. But that's the point. That's what kayfabe is. It's to bring out disbelief. It is to convince the crowd, and it is to convince you that what he is doing is selling a character. Okay? That's kayfabe. Kayfabe is not dead. It never has been dead. They've been trying to sing along this whole argument for years that kayfabe has died. Okay? It's not dead. There's so many things you can do in kayfabe. Now, that being said, obviously, I've made it known that I don't like that stupid show that WWE's producing now that shows all the behind-the-scenes bullshit. Okay? Because I do think that hurts. I do think that hurts the kayfabe aspect because it makes it even more challenging than it already is. When you go through kayfabe, you know, and you're trying to convince a social media crowd that, you know, this is real, when we know it's a, you know, a scripted show, and you see a stupid show like that basically talk about all the secrets, you know, and most people that watch wrestling, they know most of the secrets. All right, I'm not saying that we don't, but it's the idea like me, and I've said this before on this channel, and I said it when I ranted about that show, is yes, I know it's predetermined. Yes, I know what they're doing. They know who's going to win and they know who's going to lose. But that doesn't matter to me. Okay? I don't care if I know who wins and who loses. I'm watching this show. I'm loving watching wrestling because that's what I want to watch. I want to watch it. I want to see who wins and who loses. I want to get behind somebody. Okay? That's what you do. You get behind a wrestler. You invest in a wrestler. You want to believe in that wrestler. You want to believe that they're going to win. You want to believe that they're going to win the championship. Okay? When people believed in The Undertaker, everybody knew, I guess unless you're a kid, Everybody knew that Undertaker wasn't really a dead man, but that doesn't mean that people didn't believe in him. They didn't believe in the mystique of the Undertaker, right? Because people believed in that character. People believed in him. They believed what he was, even though we knew he in real life wasn't a dead man. We believed in it. That is kayfabe. All right? The whole El Grande Americano thing, okay, that just recently happened. That was all kayfabe. What I just did to all you fool bums, all right, that actually believed that I actually didn't know who El Grande Americano was. That was kayfabe. I kayfabed you all. If you actually believed that I was being serious, okay? If you actually believed I was being serious, okay, with that. I mean, I kind of hinted at it in the videos, but y'all didn't freaking take the cues, okay? But the point is, that's fucking kayfabe. That's what MJF does on social media. It's not fucking rocket science, okay? You know, obviously, I preferred Chad Gable as El Grande Americano over Luthen Kaiser. So obviously, that was who I was getting behind. So obviously, I was protecting the kayfabe of him. And Luthen was the heel to me. So obviously, I was like, oh, we know who that is. You know what I mean there? This is what I'm talking about. When you say that kayfabe is dead, it's not. It's only dead if you don't believe. It's only dead when you don't believe in what's being sold. If you don't believe what's being sold, then yeah, kayfabe is dead for you because you're not believing in what's going on the show. Kayfabe is not dead because we are investing in the character. You are investing in the mystery of the story, okay, that is going on. That's kayfabe. I don't think I should have to explain this because I think it's very very simple and basic to figure out. But there are people that I think need to know. There are people that I think that just don't get it, that don't understand kayfabe. You know what I mean there? I believe. Okay, I believe it. Because why would I be watching a wrestling show if I didn't? Ask yourself that. Why would I be watching a wrestling show if I didn't believe in kayfabe? If I didn't believe that what they are selling to me is real, even though I know it's scripted. I want to be convinced that that guy or woman won that championship decisively, won that match decisively. Because it's about the story, it's about the selling. That's why a lot of the storylines in AEW don't connect with me. Okay, not that I don't like AEW, because there are some things in AEW that I do like. I like MJF. I think MJF is their best star there, if I'm being honest. I mean, he is. I know that's just a corner phrase at this point, because MJF doesn't need that validation because he takes credit for it in kayfabe all the time. But I know he damn well believes it in real life. But the point is, I want to believe that. Okay? And despite the fact that everybody wants to cheer for him because of that, MJF is like, fuck no. I'm a heel. I'm a bad guy. I'm going to make you hate me. And that's what he does. People want to cheer for MJF, but MJF refuses to allow you to cheer for him because he pisses you all off on social media. He pisses the audience off any chance he gets because he doesn't want you to cheer for him. Okay? That is a real heel. Okay? Heels are not supposed to be cheered for. Okay? I know we're in the 21st century where everybody wants to who wants to cheer for the bad guys. But the reality is, a bad guy is not meant to be cheered for. They're supposed to be hated. And MJF does a very good job at flipping the switch. Flicking the switch. Flip the switch. Okay? That's the point. You know what I mean? That's kayfabe. You know? And again, you know, this is the selling point of kayfabe. And that's why I happen to continue it. And yes, there's a bunch of bullshit. There's a bunch of bullshit that goes on in WWE these days, obviously. I've made a bunch of rants on it. The funny thing is, as much as the rants I do on my videos about WWE, I get criticized for not doing enough rants on AEW, or not getting enough, or not talking about AEW enough, even though I watch AEW, and I have watched AEW, okay? I don't get enough thing. And maybe I will make an AEW video at some point, you know? But again, the problem with that is there are already people that think that I'm not an AEW fan because I make so many WWE videos. But the thing is a lot of the WWE videos I make are rant videos. So, yeah. So, that's not, I don't get that. I don't get, yeah. I was pissed at AEW because they fucked CM Punk over with the whole thing with the Young Bucks, which I'm still pissed at the Young Bucks for. I've not gotten over that. Because that was so fucking unprofessional, those guys, from what we heard from that story. And then Jack Perry, I still haven't forgotten that. I find it amazing that people want to defend Jack Perry. Punk shoved him. And y'all fucking know that people used to have backstage scuffles all the time. Batista and fucking Booker T fought each other in 2006 backstage. Fucking Goldberg got choked out by Chris Jericho. Like, y'all fucking complained about Punk pushing Jack Perry. Even though Jack Perry fucking deserved it because, you know, all the people told him not to use real glass, but then they told Punk this, and Punk was the one that was responsible into having to tell him no after 10 other executives told him no. You know, but of course that gets lost in the fucking story. You know, per usual. So fuck Jack Perry. This is the thing. And yeah, you know, if people want me to make a fucking AEW video, I'll fucking make an AEW video. I mean, like I said, but hey, you know what? Here's the thing. If I start making AEW videos and I rant about someone, you know, I'll know they're going to fucking say, oh, you're a WWE bot or something like that. Because I did used to make AEW videos. We were talking about that before the CM Punk shit went down. And then I made a bunch of videos on the whole brawl out thing or whatever. And everyone's like, oh, you're a WWE fan. I'm like, No, man, I'm not a WWE fan. Well, I am a WWE fan, but I'm an AEW fan too. But like, I mean, like, man, like, just think about it this right here. All right, I am a wrestling fan. Okay, if there's shit I don't fucking like, I'm gonna rant about it, whether it's WWE or AEW. Okay, there are things that I really like in AEW or WWE. I'm gonna like fucking praise it. All right, there isn't no in betweens here when it comes to kayfabe. Okay, there is no in betweens. I criticize equally. Okay, I think it's crazy when people say that I'm a defender of WWE when if you just go to my channel, you can see how I shit on them all the time when they fuck over LA Knight every chance they get. Okay. Yeah. Um. Even now we're talking about MJF. You know, and in a great light. You know. Um. That's just my thing. I really wish. I really wish people would take kayfabe seriously because again, kayfabe is only dead if you let it be dead. If you don't let it be dead, it's not dead. Period. That's the only thing. Kayfabe is not dead. I believe in it. I'll still wholeheartedly believe in it because that's how things are. That's it. Kayfabe is alive and well, guys. In conclusion, I'm out. Comment, rate, subscribe, all that stuff. I am the S's Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace. Also, make sure besides my YouTube channel to follow me on the Twitch, the Instagram, and I do have a Discord link in the description where we discuss various topics, including this one here. And now I'm out. Peace.